What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We are here live for another live stream. YouTube and X, we are live with you guys. Are we getting ready for the biggest crypto bull run ever? CZ from Binance is signaling some things. Obviously, I wanted to dive into this, talk about what it means for Bitcoin, Ethereum, what we're seeing. But CZ just posted this a few hours ago, and I'll show you guys what he put out there. But I want to get into opportunities out there, what we're expecting to see. We're rolling into October, obviously tomorrow, but this is the post from CZ at 6:06 this morning on the East Coast. Not predicting the future, and don't get too excited. A September and a past, my first crypto cycle, just data showing the price of I believe this would be Bitcoin absolutely going parabolic in these months that are coming. And man, just what an exciting time to be here in the space. Speaking of spaces, we're getting ready to pretty much launch our space here. It's already actually launched. Let me cue this thing up. We're going to join the Crypto Breakfast Club. This is the space we host every single day. Sometimes I live stream it just like this. We're going to go ahead and repost that. Then we're going to come in here, start listening, and let's see. Let me get all set up here, guys. Just getting all set up here. Join as co-host. All right. There we go. We are back. The Breakfast Club should mute now. There we go. Okay, we are back, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. CZ from Binance signaling the biggest crypto bull run ever. Let's get into it, guys. We're live on YouTube, live on X, live on our space. Welcome in, guys. Appreciate you. We are one day away from October, getting close to Q4, which obviously super exciting. Got a lot of stuff to dive into from the markets. Market just opened up about 4 minutes ago. Nothing too crazy happening here at market open. Bitcoin still up on the last 24 hours, up 0.96%, about a percent right now. We've got a couple other assets in the green right now, but mostly flat across the board, kind of waiting to see what the next big move is going to be. Our average crypto RSI continues to be hanging in the balance. We're sitting at 43 there. But let's dive into it, man. So many things happening in the space. Appreciate everybody being here with us. And yeah, I'm just excited, man. I'm just excited about where we're going, what we've got ahead of us. We kick off today. Well, basically tomorrow we'll kick off Singapore Token 2049. They are like 12 hours ahead of us, but you guys know what I mean. We're close there from kicking that thing off. So super excited about that. Come on up and join me on stage, guys. Definitely want to toss a mic around to some folks. So come on up and join us. Definitely do that. Share the space if you haven't already. If you're listening on YouTube, listening on X, give us a repost on the stream. That also helps us out. And yeah, we got a bunch of people checking in on the YouTube side as well. So I see everybody out there. What's going on? Appreciate you guys being here and rocking with us. Let me make sure my audio is turned up here. Let's see here. There we go. I got the audio mic turned up so everybody can see me there. And who do we got here? Let's bring some folks up here. Tyler's on his way up. Guys, don't hesitate. Come on up and join us. I want to hear from you guys. But CZ just put out this post. Let me put it up in the nest as well. Let's see here. Actually, could somebody go ahead and post that up? I can't do it because I'm on my laptop now. But I'll just read it to you. It's he says, not predicting the future and don't get too excited. A September in the past, and he's going back to the 2017 cycle. Just data. And he's got a screenshot basically showing the price of Bitcoin going parabolic. So, I mean, he's basically saying without saying, like, buckle up, get ready, because we could be in store for some big moves. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not fading CZ. I'm just not going to fade the biggest influencer, the biggest KOL in all of crypto. I'm not fading that guy. I'm not going to fade that guy. But yeah, it's super bullish, man. Super bullish. and super exciting to kind of see this. CZ was on a space over the weekend, this past weekend, and I had a chance to be up on stage with him. He was talking about Aster, he was talking about the markets, talking about Binance, BNB, of course, has been cooking, and man, he hung out for like an hour and just dropping great alpha, great insight. Man, it was awesome. It was awesome to kind of just listen directly from CZ, and he was just talking like one of us, man. This is a guy that, could be worth like $100 billion, just chopping it up with a bunch of average Joes, talking about the market. He's super excited about where things are heading, institutional adoption, the bridge from Web 2 to Web 3. One of the things CZ said he was working on was, basically getting some big Web 2 brands to come on over into crypto and into blockchain, and how they can be integrated into the space. And I think we're underestimating the amount of capital, the amount of, big brands that are still sitting on the sidelines. We've seen some big players come in, but there are still a ton of big players, still being a little cautious about coming in. And I think that bodes extremely well, considering that, we've got an unbelievable kind of, I think, 90 to 120 day stretch ahead of us. And I'm just super excited, man. All the stars are aligning. We're getting our interest rate cuts, right? We're getting, ETF approvals. Just yesterday, Paul Atkins and the SEC basically said crypto and blockchain and digital asset, the digital asset space is top of mind. It's one of the top priorities. We got news that they're ditching some old guidelines in terms of getting ETFs for newer ones that are easier, that can fast track some of these ETFs that we already have filed. And, you've got, just so many things happening. And then liquidity coming back in the markets with interest rate cuts. Historically, crypto pumps in Q4. If we're following the 4-year cycles, which CZ is definitely still a believer in, he said, then, man, we're just kind of lining up really, really nicely. Nobody can pinpoint exactly what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. But I think if you look at the next 90 to 120 days, I think we're going to see some great movement within that time frame, right? And I'm prepared. And I think that's the biggest thing. Just be prepared for when that time comes. And I think it's going to be within that window. That's my 2 cents. I think a lot of other people feel the same way. And obviously, you want to be positioned for any scenario. There could always be pullbacks when you least expect it. That's why you always want to keep a cash position, is something I always say. Just want to be prepared for anything and everything. And, I think right now, though, is a great time to be in the game and be active and be here and be locked in, because if and when we get that run, there's no time to think, right? There's no time to parse through what you got and what you should do. There's only time to react. And I think, I say that a lot, but I think it's super, super important. Have your goals and plans and strategies. All of that stuff needs to be mapped out now, right? And be positioned and ready for when that market pops, when that big rotation of capital happens. And I think, you're gonna be thankful that you were thinking about that ahead of the game rather than in the midst of it trying to figure out what you want to do, right? And I think that's a big plus. If you can, position yourself now and be ready. But we got a couple speakers up here. Guys, come on up, request a mic. Do not hesitate. I want to get a bunch of people up here. I want to hear from, maybe I can hear from some folks who just listen in every day who, don't come up and speak. Come on up. We'd love to have you. Come on up here and join us. Share the room if you haven't already. Definitely get it out there. I want to have a great convo today, as always. Saga, what's going on, man? Good morning to you. How are you? What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning, Zach. I actually just threw it up in the Jumbotron, but I think that Ripple and Algorand partnership or hiring of the ex-Ripple engineering lead is pretty bullish. Yeah, I'm just hanging out, had a coffee, checking the markets. I did get into a long position on Solana the other day, and it seems like we're taking a leg down right now, but my liquidation is in the 170s, so I think I'm okay for now. Yeah, I've been just continuing to DCA because eventually Bitcoin's going to hit its all-time high, and then it's going to flow into Ethereum and then into the alts. Like, I've done enough research. I'm patient. I got balls of steel at this point on the dips, and I'm just ready for altcoin season.
Let's go, man. I love that energy. I love the Solana long call too. I'm guessing you probably caught it underneath 200, which that looks like it could be a really, really good play. I like it. Sol is volatile too. It's always been one of those top cryptos that gets very volatile. Even though it's a large market cap, man, when things get moving on Solana, they get moving quick. I like that. I like that play, man. I think, and I love the energy, man. I'm ready too. I'm just fired up. I'm positioned. I'm ready to go. I have been opening up some other positions and some other assets, just kind of like last little bits and pieces, kind of getting things together. And I still got some cash on the sidelines that I'm kind of waiting a little bit longer to deploy, just to kind of see if I can catch something, with some news or anything like that. Even if I miss a little bit of it, I'm okay. But I'm always going to keep a little bit of cash on the sidelines just in case something new comes up. It is kind of ICO season too, it feels like, where we're having a lot of initial coin offerings and new projects. So you never know when one of those could pop in there and, take the mind share, make a play on it. So, I just actually made a video today about, the top 10 tips for crypto trading / crypto investing. And it's funny because I make these videos all the time on YouTube and they don't perform well. They perform way worse than like, XRP price prediction, because people want to hear that, oh my God, my bags are going to pump. But I try to make these like, videos that are kind of helpful throughout, whether we're in a bear market, bull market, whatever. And I'll kind of take you guys through these tips and let me know what you think. I mean, if you guys have something to add to this, but I think as new people come in the space, and even for us who've like been in the space, these are good reminders. So like first and foremost, like risk management is super important, right? Risk management is huge. Like you never want to go all in on a single trade. You never want to go all in on a single asset. If you're going to be doing leverage trading, use stop losses, right? Stick to your script because, and this goes for investing in altcoins on the spot side too. Emotions wreck portfolios, guys. Emotions get you wrecked. And when you start falling into that trap, this is where like you can get upside down really, really quick. And to go along with that with risk management, like always have cash, always have stables. In case of a market dip, in case of a new product, new launch, whatever, you just want to have that agency. And you want to be prepared for any angle. You want to be prepared for any situation. If the market goes up, you're ready. You're positioned. If the market goes down, you're ready to deploy. If the market stays flat, okay, you're fine, right? And so I think that's super important. And then I also kind of put out there in this video like position sizing, like consistent like DCA strategy into your high conviction plays is way better than bulk buying, unless you're like really catching the bottom of the bear market, which we're not there anymore. So just consistently adding a little bit. And to go along with that, like scaling in and out of assets, like finding out your strategy to scale in and out of different assets. Like, so Manu, like a meme coin, that's pumping right now. They're holding some spaces. I was in there this morning. Shout out to their community. They're awesome. I got in that play at like 20 mil and it just hit 60 mil yesterday. And I already had my plan before I got in. I said, when this thing 3X's, I'm going to get my basis out plus 25%. So I've won that trade. No matter what happens, I've won that trade. I'm scaling in and scaling out. And I actually bought it like 15 and I bought it like 20 and I bought it 25. And now I've scaled out and won 25%, 25% of my capital back. And no matter what, like I'm not trying to guess the top or bottom. Like I've won the trade and then let the rest ride, And then like we can go through some of these other ones, but like we talk about diversifying all the time, in crypto. Diversifying is really important, but you can over diversify too. Like that's the thing people don't really talk about. So, don't over diversify into like 100 different coins if you don't have the capital to do so. So like you can have 100 different things in your portfolio, but make sure like you're getting into these things with size, at least the high conviction solid plays. so you can actually make the gains on the other end. I see a lot of people like put $100 in a bunch of stuff, or whatever, a few $100 in a bunch of stuff. I think you're better off picking like 3 to 5 like really good plays that are strong assets and sizing in, right? Size in to make those big gains. So don't over diversify, but definitely keep a diversified, portfolio at the same time. And we already talked about having a plan. Like, where are you going to buy this? Where are you going to sell this? Where's your stop loss if you're trading on leverage? I find really like, something that I like to do that's really been helpful is basically like having a journal for my trades and all the assets that I have. And just like going in there and doing checks, like learn from your mistakes, see where you like fell flat on your face and like learn from that stuff. Like journaling your trades is actually like really, really beneficial. And talk through like with yourself by writing things out, like what your game plan here is, what's your strategy. So many people just go into it blindly and it's like, hey, we're going to the moon. It's like, yeah, good luck when things get crazy and you don't have a plan. Like you're not gonna be able to make the right decisions. But I've got a bunch of other things I can throw in there, but I'll jump over to Tyler real quick. I see Saga up here. We got another speaker annex, but yeah, bullish as hell, man. That post from CZ, I think it's crazy seeing him super active right now and just just lighting up the timeline with bullish posts. But yeah, Tyler, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to wherever you are. I am just stuck in traffic. My car's in self-driving mode, so I'm just kind of just chill back and relaxing while I get there. And no, I was just thinking about what you said about emotions and over diversifying, and some things that came to mind were just personal experiences of mine that I would like to share to those who may be new. I feel like most people here are probably not new, but in case, or just some insight from personal experience. So emotions. When I was first getting into crypto, oh my goodness, I remember when I was in Romania at the time, and everything was going really good and parabolic, but I didn't sell. And then when it down, I got really mad and I threw my phone. So yeah, emotions, but now it's not like that, I promise. But emotions, yeah, you got to keep those in check, and you do got to have a plan. And with over diversifying, I think of like extremism in both ends in whatever in life is bad. So like too little, putting all your eggs in one basket, not very good. Having too many, not very good either. You got to have that middle balance. And with that being said, I am just accumulating, kind of like what you're saying, little by little, the things that I'm already convicted in, and some things that I actually would still like to get in. Actually, a really good one it's at a good price right now, is Ondo. I think I looked at this morning, it was like 87 cents. I think that's a good price to get in. So I'll probably get into that one. I'll probably buy more of my top meme coins and the other convictions I have, such as HBAR and SEI. So I'm excited. I'm ready. I did see that post from CZ. I've been actually following him more, looking at what he says more after the whole Aster parabolic run. But yeah, guys, come up here, introduce yourself. It's always nice to have more people. I just, couldn't see a whole lot of people speaking. I don't want to feel like I always take the time away, but yeah, come and introduce yourself.
No, man, you're always welcome. And yeah, please, guys, come on up, join us. Love to have some different voices up here. Appreciate everybody being here, share the room, do all that great stuff. We appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, to your point, Tyler, like looking at Ondo, I think it's a great example. Like, one of the things we see, like, we all made these mistakes, but especially new investors, is like they chase the pumps, right? And this is going to happen again. This is going to happen this cycle again. People are going to come in, they're going to come in late, they're going to chase the hype. By the time you hear it on like mainstream media or like TikTok or whatever, you're oftentimes late, right? Like insiders are dumping on your heads. That's how it is, man. Like, it just is what it is. So like positioning yourself in high quality assets that are, let's say 50 to, 80, 90% down from all time highs that you really believe are like good narrative plays within the cycle. And I think you're right with Ondo. That's my opinion too. Hell yeah, like that's where you want to accumulate these things ahead of the crazy pump, ahead of the FOMO, ahead of the hype, right? And I think that's super, super important. And there's so many different assets kind of like in that bucket right now. You've got, another one, Cardano. Say what you want about Cardano, right? But Cardano's under 80 cents. And I do think there's a lot of merit to be like looking at these top layer ones because we haven't seen that rotation yet from ETH down to the other layer ones, really, right? And if history repeats, which is all we really have to go off of, we're going to get that. And then obviously following the hot narratives right now, you've got the perp dex, narrative, which I think you got to be locked in on that, whether you want to get in on Aster or some of the other plays coming up. I personally have built out a good position in Aster, and I know it's the talk of the town right now, and oftentimes, people get turned away by it, but I think there's too much smoke, and where there's smoke, there's fire there with CZ bull posting about it. I think it's going to be a really good performer. And this whole perp dex, business model is another reason why I actually like it. I mean, they're flooding in cash, guys. Like yesterday, they made more money than Tether in fees. Aster did, which is wild to think about in a 24-hour period. But I also think, time horizons matter. I mentioned this before, like on our spaces, like for me, Bitcoin is my long-term hold right now, like multi-year, like decade type hold. Other than that, like everything's kind of a trade right now. Now that could change, over time. But like you got to be real with yourself and like ask yourself, hey, how long do I want to hold this asset? Is this a long-term hold? Because if it is, then like your strategy is different. Like now you're just focusing on accumulating it during the dips. You're not really locked into the day-to-day noise because you've already made your decision. Like you've already done the hard work and you look at this thing as a long-term asset. If it's a short-term play, that's cool too. But now you're using, technical analysis more. It becomes a different strategy, right? And you're looking at, narratives a little bit more, and it kind of depends, obviously, if you're in like the utility space, Memecoin space for these short-term plays too. Sometimes it's a day trade, sometimes it's a week trade, sometimes it's a month trade. And other times it's a it's a cycle trade. It's hey, when the cycle gets nearing the top, I'm going to get out of X, Y, and Z positions, right? So there's a lot to think about. But I think it's really important to kind of have these conversations now because if we're going to get into this parabolic season, like we want to prepare ourselves now before the big run up. But yeah, let me jump to Rune Lady was up here first, and then we'll go over to Steve as well. Steve's got his hand up. Guys, share the room. Come on up, join us. Love to have everybody. What's up, Rune? How you doing?
Good morning, Zach. You know what? Just dollar cost averaging. There's been a lot of good deals lately, and I know that I've told you before. I'm heavy in the graph because I think that's a really good long-term play. So I've been buying a lot more of that lately. Shiba Inu not looking too good right now, so I'm hoping that will recover so I can cash out. I think Polygon is another good play. I just bought more Algorand after I saw that news, and I'm already heavily invested in Algorand, but that's one that I have high conviction on. That and Stellar, really like those. And I wanted to say thank you. I got your message about the win, so I wanted to say thank you for that.
Hell yeah. Rune won one of our contests that we ran, $500 in ETH. Shout out to Rune too. She's been a community member of mine for I can't even remember how long, since 2021. Going way back into like my first bull run and when I first got into crypto. And so yeah, super excited about that. Rune, by the way, I am going to be reigniting the Patreon again. It's going to become part of my inner circle, so you'll be in there, and everybody's going to be grandfathered in. And got some big plans for that. I'm really excited about it. I won't give it all away, but I'm actually going to be starting a portfolio, and I'm going to be putting in like $100 a week. I'm going to start that portfolio in October, and we're going to try to run it up, and in real time, we're going to be able to kind of see how it performs, and that amongst some other things. So I'll be messaging you. I'll be making sure you get in there. Yeah, so that'll be cool.
I appreciate it, Zach. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah. Great to have you up here. Steve, what's going on, man? You got any alpha for us? What are you looking at this morning?
So yeah, I'm looking at Zignali, which connects to ZigChain. It's like their marketplace where you can get Sharia compliant portfolios for real world assets, or you can invest in DeFi RWA. So like you could buy into BlackRock's iShare physical gold, and you can it's very low risk, and you can earn uh like 20% on your money. And like there's this one that literally is up 200%. It is AI and Ethereum features, so like it's actually really good trading bots, and there's actually money going in. They created a whole platform, and you can get into like BlackRock based backed assets or more risky assets. Like there's like a whole marketplace where you could find if you want to be risky, less risky. They offer 32% APY on staking, and they're up 25% in the last day. So it's going really good. They're creating a new marketplace and the ways to earn yield.
Love it, man. Yeah, Steve, give Steve a follow, guys. He does a great job, deep diving into some really good plays. He does a great job, kind of like analyzing where the institutional money's going, and I like that, especially right now because we're in an institutionally driven bull market. There's no doubt that this is a different type of run than our previous one back in 2020, 2021. So super excited about kind of where things are heading now on the institutional side and front running those
Yeah, what
narratives.
do you think of Redstone and how they have the ACRED fund for Apollo, a $700 billion fund?
I like
It's
that,
now being
man.
tokenized through Redstone, but yeah, I use Redstone and Solana. Have you
Yeah,
heard
I've
about that?
I've taken notes on pretty much everything you've mentioned, man, and I've went back and done some of my own DD on it, and I really like it, man. I like the way you link things together, and I'll be talking to you in the back channels. I want to get you in the Discord so you
Can
can
I?
share some of that
I'm so
stuff.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Tyler.
So SEI, I was gonna say, as I was saying this, and I won't say anymore, I promise. But SEI is doing something with Redstone and Apollo as well. I think they're gonna do something on it. I can't remember exactly the wording, but you can go check it out. It's on their page, of course. But yeah, that's another reason why when I saw that, I was like, oh, Redstone. I remember hearing about that. So I don't know. I'm very bullish on SEI.
Dope, man. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like SEI, SEY. There's like two, right? There's the SUI and then SEI, right? One's like still cheap, and then one's a couple bucks, right?
I think SCI is a really good one.
Yeah, and it's another one of those plays that's kind of undervalued right now, I think, too. It's kind of being forgotten about. This is the best time to get into those type of assets, like these ones that, nobody's really talking about. It's gone cold, it's gone quiet. Honestly, it's kind of gone quiet on SWE, too. I mean, SWE had a great run early on in the cycle during our first little altcoin pop, but since then it's come back down. I mean, the all-time high, though, is, 40% away. All-time high was at 535. We're sitting at 321. A lot of times what we see run early in the cycle, comes back late. So I do like SWE still quite a bit. Yeah, that's definitely one of those top layer ones, outside of ETH and Sol, obviously at the top, that I definitely see doing some great things. It reminds me a lot of Solana because it has the VC backing, but it also has, the retail backing too, and they're doing a great job managing kind of both sides of that coin. So I like that. I like those calls. Let's jump to SPX. What's going on, man? What's on your mind? How you doing this
Hey,
morning?
good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm looking at SPX 6900 at below $1. To me, what a gift. I'm loading up, and I'm looking at the metrics on holder scan, and SPX 6900 again is still leading in diamond holders as well as gold holders. I think the metric for gold holders is percent of supply held 60 to 90 days since the last sale, and for diamond it's greater than 90 days. It's incredible. The whales are still buying and holding, and to me this is a gift, and I think soon we'll never see under $1 SPX 6900 ever again. Again, not financial advice, but yeah, I'm definitely excited.
I love it, man. Yeah, the meme coin space, a lot of people are like, oh, the meme coins are done, they're dead. I think just the pump fund stuff is dead. I think that's getting watered down, but I do think there's room for quality community meme coin projects. And when capital, comes back in a big way, I think they're going to be looking for those type of plays. And, so I'm still invested in the meme coin spot. SPX is one of them. I did add a little bit to my position under $1 too, because I first bought it like $1.20. So I DCA'd my way down a little bit. Happy about that. But SPX, Pepe, Brett, these type of plays like near the, tops, these are the ones where I'm going toward. The ones that have already kind of solidified themselves, but still haven't seen a full-fledged bull cycle. I'll take my bets there rather than try to catch a wave on something brand new. That's where I'm at right now.
And that's a good way of thinking about it. That's how I think about it as well. So definitely excited.
Hell yeah, man. Good to have you. Any other meme coins right now, or are you like all in on SPX only? Do you like any other meme coins?
So I mentioned on previous spaces that I swore off meme coins. I wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole. When I first started in crypto, my first entry was actually into SHIB. Kind of round trip that and got out and just started buying utility coins. Love Bitcoin, love some other utility coins like Chainlink, Hedera, Cardano is my layer one of choice. I didn't get into XRP. I like XRP, but I just never got into it. But then, someone exposed me to Murad's token 2049 video. I think it was from last year, and it just completely changed my mind about certain meme coins, and I just started going down the rabbit hole and really fell in love with SPX 6900, and that's the only meme that I hold, and it's a significant portion of my holdings. But yeah, and that's not throwing shade to other memes, but the only one I feel comfortable investing in is SPX.
Appreciate that, man.
Hey, Zach, am I good to speak for a second, brother? I share a little alpha.
Yeah. What do you got, Steve? Go ahead.
So, are you familiar with the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals UN shit?
Yeah, of course.
Look at the picture I just sent you. It's from UN, so it's literally the GBBC, which connects to Davos, the United Nations. You can literally see where it says Sustainable Goals, the 2030 Agenda. They're using the same colors as the Agenda 2030. And they literally, so it's literally, if you look, I posted like 2 pictures. You literally see where they're talking about the UN as well. Like, so the United Nations is there, some Illuminati stuff. It's like an 8-hour conference, but they're literally giving alpha on cryptos. It's literally a beautiful thing. They mention Leo. Have you heard of a Leo?
Leo, like Leo?
ALEO. That was mentioned at like the last 2 Davos. They're gonna use a Leo. Yeah, they can show you where they mentioned that. Yeah, it's in that video. But yeah, they literally mention a Leo crypto, ALEO. I haven't watched the whole conference. It's an 8-hour video, but no, it's another one of those. I posted the YouTube link. Can you put those pictures I sent on the Jumbotron? I tagged you in a couple of them, or if Saga could do it. I'm sorry, Saga. I'm not asking you to keep doing things, but yeah, there's a bunch of alpha there. Illuminati, Zionist information. This video only has 500 views, so let's get it more views. Let's wake up. Let's get the elite information that gives us a higher. That gives us a higher, less risk, because now we're tapping into institutional investments, not retail investments. As a retail trader, it's hard to make plays like this unless you deep dive and get the alpha.
Oh, for sure. I just put something up there in the nest. I appreciate it, man. I love the research that you do too, man. Just diving deep and following, connecting the dots. Go ahead, SPX.
I just want to say one thing, just to add something to some context to what I was talking about before. In terms of real world utility coins, again, I do like XRP. I don't hold any, but I'm a huge Chainlink fan. And it's up for debate, but it's funny to me. Chainlink is doing what XRP wants to do. So I'm a big Chainlink fan. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but to me, Chainlink is doing what XRP wants to do. Again, I'm not throwing shade at XRP, but I just love Chainlink. And just wanted to add my 2 cents on real world utility coins and my love for Chainlink.
I love it, man. I own both. I think they're, Chainlink is a core infrastructure play. That's the way I look at it. And there are very few of those in the crypto space. that are core infrastructure plays. They're like the glue that keeps things together. And with their Oracle technology, they really don't have much competition in the Oracle space. So, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'm there. I think Chainlink's been undervalued for a while, and it's one of those safe holds though too. It's also one of those cryptos where like you sleep really well at night, and even in a bear market, it tends to hold up pretty well. It tends to hold up better than some other assets. So I like the Link call quite a bit. Saga, do you got your hand up, man?
Yeah, I do. I just like that we're talking about other plays. Like I talked about it on Michael DeFi's space yesterday, and I think it's a hidden gem is Nadex. I've discussed it on here a little bit before, but like they have partnerships with XYO, Peak, Mapbox. Their VX360 device attaches to Tesla vehicles. It's to help with autonomous driving, which we all know is the future. In the near future, eventually we'll all be sitting in cars getting driven around. And it's at a super low price right now, 306, which is basically what I got in at about 6 months ago. I've also been accumulating Swift coins a lot. Velo, Steve actually did a deep dive on it for me and sent me some information on Swift coin as well. And that's below a penny. So, obviously do your own research, but like Nadex and Swift coin are cryptos that I'm heavily invested in the micro cap level.
I like it, man. I like it. Appreciate that. Grill, what's going on, man? How are you? Good morning.
Doing good. I had a lot of fun the last couple of days in different trades that I was keeping an eye on. This one, it's a meme, but it looks like it wants to do something like they want to do like a Doge run, but they have their stuff together. It's called Manu. It's a dog coin. It's pretty cute. I can see it taking a lot of mind share. And they're on the right track. Like if you ever worked in the memes sector, you have a checklist of things that you have to get done to make sure it goes to the next level. And it seems that the organization and the direction of the business itself is going in a good direction, and that the team behind it has a good energy. So that's cool. I'm happy to find those guys.
Yeah, shout out to Manu, man. I actually made a video for Manu. Their team reached out. I actually made a video when they were right around like 18, 20 mil market cap back in July when they launched. And, they came back down. They held the floor at 14 mil, but they continued to add holders. And I think, when you're looking at meme coins, like solid meme coins, what happens after that first pump? And this is what I said over on the Manu space. Like, I think their space is still running or whatever over there. And I jumped in there, and I think, there's still room for meme coins, but like the pump.fund shit is just BS, man. Like we got to get rid of it.
Exactly.
It's stupid. I don't like it. That's just my 2 cents. But the thing of it is too, like, I think because of all of the craziness that's happened and the liquidity draining from all of that, it's created an avenue. It's created a place for solid communities to be built back up. Like the old SHIB days, like Dogecoin has done, and I think it's created a path for, some of these projects, and Manu's on the right path, man. And I think, they just had a 3X, obviously, from 20 up to 60 mil, over 60 mil. I think they topped out at like 70 mil. And I made it public, man. I got in around 20 mil, took my initial investment out plus about 25%, won the trade. And now, I'm riding with it, and I'm going to see what happens, because if that becomes one of those SHIB type plays, if we get one of those, you got to look for strong communities that hold the line and that can actually sustain themselves for like at least a few months. And they've done it. I mean, they've done it to this point. I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously, then you've got like top tier players, up there like Bonk, and I think they've done a phenomenal job.
Yeah, that Manu, like when you got into it, like I heard about it because of like the TG, like certain rooms were like talking about it and like putting really good words, and they said that they talked to these guys in person too, and So yeah, I'm like super impressed with that, and I think that they got. I think you're right. You were part of the reason why I was take a peek at it. I think it was like what you said, like July or
Yeah, man.
someplace around then.
Yeah, I think
I got another one though. I got another good call that hasn't hit yet, but you'll probably know about a little bit. The cornucopias game on Cardano.
no, I haven't heard of that.
They have this game. From a professional point of view okay, first of all, I shouldn't say that. I have family who makes video games, and like he just got done with like Deadpool and yada yada. He looked at this game and he said that this game has a ton of promise and it has like all the things going right for it. It just needs just that one big because it has enough fuel, but it can blow up really quick. That's cornucopias game. And they just did like this huge land. They had to like shake out all the land across all these like it's an MMORPG game, a little bit like Minecraft, but really high quality graphics, like Dead Red Redemption.
I like
it. Yeah, it's worth looking into. I'd be up here for 3 hours. I was certain down what the fun part about it was the last couple of days. They just did the land plot claiming with over 6,000 people who picked up pieces of land across all of these like land areas where they're going to start farming it, working it, battling, growing, developing like a regular economy. So I held on to this land for like 3 years, and I just don't have enough time in the day to actually play the game out, even though I'd really love to, and it has a lot of potential. I'd like one of my kids to do it, as a matter of fact, in which I might buy a computer specifically for that. But so they shook out all the land, like 6,000 people waiting for the land to get chosen, kind of like a raffle kind of style. Like you don't lose anything. Like you put your ticket in and try to get it chosen. And if you don't get your deed picked for a piece of land, and then you can put it on a different one. Went super well, and they're looking to going live before Christmas. So they're developing it from grassroots, and they're doing a really good job.
I would love to see the gaming sector come back, man, and I think it will eventually. I just right now I'm not heavily allocating there just because there's just so many other dominant narratives out in front of it. But I mean, listen, I think the gaming sector. It's weird to me because, to me, one of the best ways to onboard people, normies as we call them, into crypto, and like one of the best use cases for crypto is gaming. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar, space in the Web 2 side.
Yeah, exactly. It's wild.
It's just never been able to sustain that level of I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's just
Mindshare.
But I think it'll happen. I mean, I am invested in Superverse. Superverse had a nice little pop in the price, I think yesterday or the day before. If I remember, went up like 40-50%. That's more of like an infrastructure play. And what's the other one?
Black hole?
No, Immutable X. Immutable X. I mean, these are like top 100, top 200 plays. Like that's where kind of I'm putting my capital. I did well on a couple trades back in 2024 too. Big Time, which is one that's listed on Coinbase. That's an RPG style game too. I think the whole gaming gaming sector will hit. I'm not comfortable allocating a ton into it right now. I just think there's faster horses at the moment. But as you know, in crypto, like you got to be nimble, you got to be ready to rotate. So when the gaming things heats up, I'm definitely there. But yeah, for right now, I think I'll hold on to the core infrastructure, a couple of core infrastructure plays right now, and see kind of what happens. But
yeah, I'm not going to wait on it. I did that for like years, and I'm not going to wait on it. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I am going to wait on it, but I'm not going to. I took all my allocation up a long time ago. I need to see action before I need to see a little bit more action before I start putting size. But I think it will happen eventually.
If you get stuck in too many of those weird things, if you get stuck in too many of those plays that don't move for a while, you do yourself a disservice, right? And then you see everybody else making gains, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm waiting for gaming to hit here. What's going on with gaming? That's why you just don't go all in on gaming, or don't go all in on whatever. Like you've got to be spread out across these different sectors, I think. And right now, I mean, it's clear. It's to me, it's where are the institutions going to go next? You know, if you're looking at that side of the market, RWA and AI, like that's the institutional side of the market. If you're looking in the degen space, for me, I just want to go with the heavy hitters, man. Like, and I want to go in with size. Like, I want to go in with size and find good positions into, you know, SPX or Pepe, Aster. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, those type of
Hey,
plays.
did you hear that? Did you hear that Mr. Beast has been bought size into
Yes,
Aster?
yes, yeah, I did see that.
That
It
goes to
makes
$1
sense,
million.
man. Yeah, it makes sense. I want to get over to Rune though, real quick. She's got her hand up, and I want to get Matt in here because he's ready to fight me over the pump.fun thing I just said, which I love, by the way. That'll get our numbers up, Matt. So let's have a feud. Rune, what's going on?
Hey, Zach, I was just wondering if you're in Julia OS or not.
No, I've heard of Julia because Larry always used to come in our spaces. Not so much anymore. He'll pop in and out. He's a busy guy, but he was an advisor, I think, on Julia. So I know a little bit on the surface, but I've never invested in it.
Okay, I just wanted to see if you had looked into it at all. I am invested in that one. There is some concern because they launched a second token, but I'm not putting any more into it at this point, but just kind of waiting for them to release their launch pad at this point. I just wasn't sure how much you knew about it.
Yeah, I wish Larry was up here because he could really give you a good breakdown. I've heard from him and just listened to some of the things he said. He was working with them for a while. I think he's still an advisor on their side, but he was really excited about what they were building. You know Larry, right? Who comes into our spaces?
I've only talked to him that one time.
Okay.
That was it.
Yeah, he's a good follow on X, and he's super well connected. He's probably out at Singapore, Token 2049. I'm guessing he was probably at Korea Blockchain Week. That's probably why he's been really busy lately. But yeah, let me jump down to Matt. Matt, what's up? What's up, man?
Oh, damn, you caught me while I was drinking a coffee and eating a cookie.
What kind of cookie?
But I better say this before I forget about it. The dude that was up here talking about just this morning about the Davos meeting. So I went and I looked at that video for a minute already when he posted it. And it's interesting in that video, like the first topic of discussion is AI and how do we prove you're talking to a human versus a robot online. And I just stopped it right there. And I'm like, okay. Within the first 10 minutes of this conversation that they're having in Davos, they're talking about, not only are they talking about AI, but now they're talking about proof of human. And if you've been following the Crypto Breakfast Club, you know we've mentioned before about proof of humanity, proof of being a human, just like proof of stake, proof of work, proof of human. And who's kind of at the forefront of that? It's WorldCoin. So WorldCoin right now, to me, looks like, and I didn't look at the chart yet today, but WorldCoin is kind of looking like this might be one of the front runners or the leaders of the, whenever we actually see the institutions start pumping as a whole, it looks like WorldCoin would be a pretty safe play. And then again, like you mentioned, Zach, it's a top 100, top 200, like if you don't want to get too risky and you just want to do a little bit of research, you don't have to watch the whole 7-hour video. I mean, I skipped through the first 10 minutes and I caught that right away. So it's not like it's difficult, right, to do research. But just hearing that again at the World Economic Forum, the Davos meetings, all this stuff, they're telling you where they're going to put the money by doing some research and going into these videos. It's not us saying, hey, I'm concerned because I might be talking to a bot, and the other crazy thing is they've already said this, like this is out there in public. One of their major use case scenarios is dating apps. So like WorldCoin isn't going anywhere just because probably I'm guessing over 50% of the single population uses dating apps. And to prove you're not getting scammed by a bot, in Pakistan, they're going to use proof of human on these things. So when you put that together, it's not going anywhere. And then the other thing, I just wanted to correlate a little bit on this because I know, Zach, this is a sensitive area in this space, is pump fund live streaming. So what's a great way? Like, have we seen this yet? I'm going to paint a picture here. Have we seen this yet? And I don't think we have. On pump fund live streaming, have we seen deep fake AI streamers yet? You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that just sets up a bot. I don't think we've seen that yet on Pump Fund Live, but we will see that eventually. Eventually, somebody's going to put a bot in there, an AI video, where it fools everybody, right? And it's the perfect content for everybody. I mean, what I see might not be what you see or the other person sees or what she sees or he sees. We might all see something different. They might get so good with this AI stuff that we all just get scammed and we're not even knowing it. We're completely clueless that we're being scammed, right? So proof of humanity, proof of human, I think moving forward is going to be very, very important. And that's WorldCoin. And WorldCoin right now, just sitting above $1, is looking like, last time I hyped this coin up, it was at about 90 cents. So yeah, it's up a little bit, but I think it's going to go up a lot more. I mean, I safely see this thing doing a good multiplier. I'm not going to say because it's not financial advice, but I have my target for WorldCoin, and I think it's going to be one of the key players this cycle because of proof of human, because of AI, because of deep fakes, because of what's going on Pump Fund live streaming. You know what I'm saying? And that does correlate a little bit, seeing live streamers running around shilling their projects or onboarding people, because it's nice to know if it's actually a human you're engaging with, right? Like, I would feel stupid if I was having a conversation, which I'm sure I have. I know I have, I'm sure. Like, I'm like 100% positive I've had a conversation on, or a debate on one of these social media apps where it's like, I make my comment and somebody comes in there and comments, and then I come back with a rebuttal, and then it turns into an argument. I've probably argued with a bot. I mean, if Charles Hoskinson has argued with a bot, I'm sure old North Dakota Matt has had an argument with a bot online. All right. So, like, yes, I'm guilty of it too. And I would really like to have proof of human in social media because I want to know. And it's interesting enough that whoever was talking this morning about that Davos meeting, their first topic was combating AI and proving that you're talking to a human or a bot. So
yeah, man, that was me. I was talking about the Davos. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. The proof of human, I agree with WorldCoin, but I feel like since that was like the 2030 meeting, I feel like it's the same thing with IOTA. Like these coins are there; they're just not appreciated in price because the technology is not needed. But once they have these smart cities or once into bodies, that's going to be obviously IOTA will be worth way more. Just like how when they start needing all the AI, and AI is taking over like crazy in the jobs. Like Fox made a show called Universal Basic, guys, and they're like, oh, AI took the jobs, now you do universal basic income. So I feel like once universal basic income happens and the AI is taking over like crazy, then we're going to need the proof of humans and who's AI and not. And that's where the technology is going to excel. Right now, we're almost in the transformation space, but we're not there yet. We're close. Right now, we're in the accumulation phase before a big pump is what I would say. Do you want to add on that, Matt, or what you think, bud?
No, I agree with what you're saying. I agree how your way of thinking. I appreciate your way of thinking too. It's really jives right there with how I think about where the future is going. And I would say like we are so early. People still
would you add me on Discord? I'll DM you. We could watch. I have like fucking 16 long podcasts, like really good videos. We should watch some of them. If you're down, bud.
Yeah, and I've probably seen a lot of them already. But what I'm saying is the generational type thing where we are at as in crypto right now, like all of us between, let's say, the ages of 18 and 80, right? Everybody that's in crypto right now, like we're early because what they're doing with this is they're setting it up for the future generations. Like they're setting it up for generation A, B, C, D, E, F, right? Like we're not going to be around when that happens. I mean, if you're 18 now, by the time everybody's using crypto, you're going to be in a nursing home. So like this is still off in the future ways, but it doesn't mean we can't capitalize on where they're going and front running them like with WorldCoin. And you know, I'm not researching Asker. I don't even know what it's about. Other than CZ's connected
Steve,
to it.
mute your mic real quick while he's talking. A lot of feedback. Go ahead, Matt.
But like, okay, so like, all I'm saying is future coins, right? I talk about future coins like WorldCoin. We all know Bitcoin's here to stay. That's the face of crypto. But like WorldCoin and some of these other altcoins where they have a super real purpose of distinguishing things like humans from bots or bank accounts from like fraudulent bank accounts, right? Like security. So these coins are going to be the ones to succeed. That is a utility coin, and most of those are in your top 100, your top 200 for sure. So this coming around to this bull run, again, is a very easy way to not screw this up, and that's basically sticking to the top 200. I'm 100% in agreement with Zach on that, and trust me, the utility coin, I have good bags in the utility coins, the altcoins in the top 100, and I'm gambling over in the pump fund space, right? That's just my casino. Like, I know I'm either going to win or lose or whatever, walk out even for the day. It doesn't mean I'm not stabling up in pump fund. I'm not, that's not even close to my mind. But when I think about the future coins like WorldCoin and Kronos and XRP, you know, and Filecoin, all you have to do is look at what the government is saying and what these World Economic Forums are talking about and what they're talking about in Switzerland. All you have to do is a tiny bit of research. They will tell you where they're going. And to me, if you're new in crypto, that's what you should be doing to make sure you're going to win. All right.
You know, I think you're onto something, Matt. And I mean, you know, the whole WorldCoin thing, it's definitely kind of, you know, Sam Altman's baby and all of that. And, you know, there's a dark side of that too, because it's an institutional play, whatever. But I do think there's a way to win in those plays too. The one thing I saw, I don't know if you know Dan Ives. Dan Ives is like he's a TradFi guy. He's not a crypto guy at all. He goes on like CNBC all the time. I was actually watching him in a recent interview, and he just became a main advisor and investor in WorldCoin, and he talked about, you know, all of the sort of things that you know you talked about just recently and why you're bullish on it and the use case, etc. So that's interesting. I mean, they're getting some, you know, some TradFi guys to get in because he sees it as an AI play. Dan Ives. I don't know if you guys follow him. Give him a follow on X. I mean, he actually talks about WorldCoin in a lot of different ways, like, because it's interesting watching him talk about it because he's not coming from a crypto perspective, you know? So I found that kind of interesting. He looks at it as an AI tech play, and he's done really good in the AI tech sector. He's got his own ETF, and, you know, he was early to NVIDIA. He was early to Tesla. He was, you know, so he's got a decent track record, and it was actually a really good interview that he did with a YouTuber. I think the YouTuber's name is Amit, A-M-I-T. I think that's him. Yeah, Amit is investing. He's a good follow too. So yeah, there's that. I think there's some merit to it, man. I like it. I like it. Rune, what's going on?
So I wanted to respond to Matt about WorldCoin, and that's a touchy subject with me. Without going into the required biometric data, mass surveillance, dead internet theory rabbit hole, WorldCoin and any crypto that is looking to authenticate in that way and becomes part of mass surveillance could easily become the Palantir of crypto. So WorldCoin is definitely one to watch if you're an investor. If you're on the outside looking in at the surveillance part, probably not a good thing. But from an investment standpoint, I would start looking into what other projects are doing something similar to WorldCoin that fall into that Palantir category.
Very interesting. Yeah, Palantir is an interesting one on the stock market side. You're right. It's like, because it's been a great investment, but like ethically, people are like, ethically and morally, they're like, I don't know if I want to invest and put my money here. That's a really good parallel though, Rune. I like that. I like that a lot. I think Cliff's probably got something on this. That's why he's come up. DGen Dojo, I said you've been up here a little bit too. We'll bring you up. We've also got Zach is up here too. I want to get his thoughts. He's a great trader, great perspectives on the markets as well. Cliff, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's up, Breakfast Club? Can you hear me good? I'm on the road today, man.
Yeah, we got you.
Sweet. Yeah, so WorldCoin, man. I think there's a lot of misconceptions as far as what data they keep from you or from your iris scan, right? So I verified last month at an orb. I'm not somebody that likes control or likes to give up my personal information, right? So I'm somebody that likes to keep my personal information and not identity to myself. I don't sign up for a lot of things. I'm relatively pretty much a hermit when it comes to that sort of thing, right? So I play it close to the vest. However, the misconception is that WorldCoin keeps your data, right? They keep your scan of your iris on file somewhere, right? That's the misconception. That's not the case. You control your data. I downloaded my data to my phone, and that's how I verify. So now I can go on the World Chain, on their application. I verify that I'm a human, and I'm able to operate and transact and do whatever I want to do on chain. I can launch a token on their chain if I want to. I'm a verified human. There's no bot that's launching anything on that chain. There's no bot that's doing anything on that chain, matter of fact, because it's all verified humans. And as we move forward into the future, guys, I'm telling you 100% that you will have to have some type of verification method to prove that you're a human and not a bot or AI or whatever online. I mean, you see it on Twitter all the time. There's all types of different bots there's reply bots, there's engagement bots, there's this, there's that. You can buy bots to have as followers on your account, so it boosts your account numbers to look like you've got 1 million followers. That's the type of thing that is going to be ever more present in the real world as we move forward into an AI type of future where robots, AI, all of these different things, quantum you can even throw in there too. But they're going to be operating in real life like they already are. Millions of people a year. I mean, Google's losing mind share to ChatGPT and Grok right now on their searches. And that's just one aspect of AI, right? So as we move forward, just imagine when your employer is telling you that, okay, we're implementing this AI bot to take a portion of the workload off of you. That's how it'll start. We're doing this to help you, okay? And then next thing you know, well, there's no verified humans hardly at that company anymore. The only humans that are there are making sure that the bots aren't screwing something up. So you're going to have to verify eventually. And I think it'll even be at a government level one day, Zach, to be honest with you, man. Filing taxes, all that sort of stuff, because, what's to stop a bot or AI from filing taxes on your behalf and funneling that to someone else? Without you verifying that that is actually you, anything's possible.
Some really interesting points, Cliff. Appreciate that. I think you're 100% right about the search traffic. I was actually just thinking about that the other day. The last time I Googled something opposed to going to ChatGPT is it's actually crazy. I don't use Google anymore.
I'm the same way. I mean, it's so much faster. I can get more in-depth analysis going to a chat bot than I can having to go through the weeds of Google now.
Yeah, exactly. DGen Dojo, what's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. My topic is slightly different from the topic at hand. So if you guys want to come back to me, you can, or I can just say real quick, it's up to you.
No, go ahead, man. What's on your mind? It's open for him.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Well, first of all, huge shout out to Saga. He recently popped up into our community spaces, and he introduced me to you. So very nice to meet you, Zach, and everybody on the speaker board. Saga is a great guy. Once he can tell when he commits to something, he goes full throttle. So much appreciated. I'm learning so much from you guys here. Quick little background about my story. I kind of jumped into crypto in January, February. And, you know, I got the scars to prove it. Got being rugged numerous times. But unlike a lot of the people in the space, I'm determined to win. And I feel like I'm in the right place. I've learned so much since January. I feel like I'm finding my spots here and there. And there's opportunity here. So I'm not giving up. And I just wanted to kind of ask a two-part question. The first one is, I'm a pen and paper kind of guy. So I've been getting in the habit of writing down my place, what prices I get in at, and, you know, trying to figure out when I'm going to sell. Because even though I've only been in this space since January, I've been hopping into spaces daily, and you guys, the community, the crypto community does a great job of explaining what happened in the past. And I think history is very important. So every space that I jump into, I learn a little bit about the crypto history, and that's helping me make my plays and my decisions going forward. So first of all, thank you to the crypto community. You guys are a constant reminder of what happened. So it's like I know what happened, even though I wasn't part of it. But anyways, I write down my plays. I got my prices the way, you know, where I want them to be. So my question is, first one is there a better way to track this stuff other than pen and paper? Do you guys think pen and paper is the best way to do it? And two, once I win, because I'm determined to win, it is going to happen. I know I'm going to win in this space. Once I win, what do you guys recommend doing with the proceeds? Are you holding on to it in stable coins? Are we staking it? What do you guys recommend to do once we win?
Man.
I have a recommendation, not financial advice, but I have a recommendation.
Go ahead, Steve.
I would be staking it, and then I would take a little bit out, and then once you take it, you don't take it all out. You build a base. Whether your base is in Puerto Rico, it's not tax evasion. That's illegal. It's called tax avoidance. Where like if you go to certain places in the world, like Dubai, Puerto Rico, there's 0% capital gain. So meaning, you know, like Puerto Rico has, so you need to buy an investment. So you buy a little bar and to buy a little $100,000 house. Let's say you made $2 million off crypto. So now instead of paying Uncle Sam $1 million, now you just paid $100,000. You lived there for a couple of years. Then you could sell the house. Now you only paid $40,000 to $30,000 for that business, and now you just saved $1 million in taxes. So moving places where you have less taxes or 0% capital gain, so you could then keep making millions off crypto and not have to pay shit. And paper hand it, crypto hand it, whatever you want to do. But yeah, when you make it big, try to move area codes. Is all I recommend.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do that, right? Like Dubai is a big hub for people in crypto. I mean, if you're in the United States, you know, a lot of people are moving to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's 5%, you know, flat tax, federal income tax. I think you got to live there for like 130 days, or don't quote me on that. It's something similar to that. You can look it up quickly. But yeah, it's something like 5-6 months out of the year. You got to claim residency there. A lot of people doing that. You know, I mean, but to Steve's point, I think, you know, storing that wealth then in assets, you know, and not bringing it back to a savings account where you're losing money, I think is key. You know, whether you want to then diversify into real estate, you want to buy land, you want to, you know, maybe, you know, use your altcoin gains to buy a Bitcoin, which is, you know, in my eyes, store of value, digital gold. You know, I think there's a lot of ways to go about it. I think the big thing is, you know, move the money that you make in crypto back into assets, you know, and don't put it back into just fiat and let it sit there and lose its value. I mean, hell, if you have, you know, $100,000 in a savings account right now in 2025, it's really 90,000 of buying power. Like, you know what I mean? And
I'd say even 80,000, maybe even.
Well, I think the dollar's lost 10% of its value. I mean, statistically, in 2025 at last check, and that was like a month ago. So yeah, I mean, it's, you know, you're just losing money to inflation. And that's why the banks, by the way, are freaking the hell out. The banks are reeling because people are realizing it. They're waking up. They're not keeping their money in a savings account that's not giving them any yield. And like, yeah, I don't know if you guys saw Brian Armstrong yesterday. I made a video about this. Like he's on the prowl again, and you know, urging people, whatever the hell their initiative is. I can't remember what the hell their slogan is or whatever, but I got an email yesterday. I'm sure some of you guys did too. Basically, hey, the banks are trying to get rid of stablecoin yield. You know, they're trying to get rid of, because right now, like in USDC on the exchange side of Coinbase, you can earn like 4.5%, which basically mirrors the money market. You know, and I have money in the traditional money market too. You know, you're hedging against inflation a little bit. You're earning, you know, 4.5%, so you're not losing your total 10%. You know what I mean? But they're trying to get rid of that because they can't compete. The big banks can't compete with the yield, you know, offerings in crypto. But DGen, I think, you know, in terms of tracking your other question, in terms of like tracking your portfolio, there's a ton of different things out there. Like Coin Tracker's one of them. Coin Stats, I think, is another. I'm a pen and paper guy too. I'm a spreadsheet guy. So for every asset that I own, I have like my own spreadsheet for that asset. And all my plans in terms of taking profits at various price levels, they're all in there. And then as I make moves, I go in there and update it. So in real time, I can click, you know, my XRP spreadsheet and see what the hell I've done since I've been in it in 2021. You know what I mean? Or I can click over to Ethereum, and some of these are a lot lengthier because Ethereum, I've been in and out of that play for a really long time. You know what I mean? So that's how I track it, is just like spreadsheets, and I kind of like that. Just, and it gives me like some type of feel for it too. But I've used things like CoinStats and Coin Tracker too. If you want like, you know, pie chart, kind of something simple that, you know, solidifies, you know, exactly what you hold and what it looks like. There's some different cool tools out there. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, that's my 2 cents there. But other people might have some other opinions on that. I'd be curious to get some thoughts.
Zach, I got a plug for you.
Yeah.
So I use CoinMarketCap as my electronic tracker, but I also have an offline ledger on Amazon. So if you look up Rune Lady on Amazon, it'll bring up that cryptocurrency investment tracker. It says offline ledger. Don't buy the shitcoin journal unless you're looking to just have laughs while you're losing money. So yeah, go after the cryptocurrency investment tracker. It has room for 100 different tokens.
That's a sweet idea, Rune. Love it. That's cool. I want to give Zach the stage real quick. Zach, what's going on, man?
How's it going, brother?
Good, good. How are you?
We're hanging out in no man's land up here.
Yeah, right? Boring. What's the next
Yeah,
move?
it's waiting. Gold mooned overnight, you saw?
I did see that early this morning. Every time I look up, it's setting new all-time highs.
Biometric data is going to be the final frontier, so to speak. Proof of humanity, so on and so forth. I typically don't trust first mover technologies, first mover companies, especially if they're not government organized. I know that is a bit much as it is. If you have a driver's license, you gave them your fingerprint, your face print. Certain other companies, I'm not going to say which companies, I would say all of the companies that are involved in biometric capture, with or without your consent, are aligning a database for later harvest. And we know we could trust companies with our private data, as you've seen in the past. So in general, they may give you whatever their sales mantra quote is, but that's on you. Like, that's up to you to be dumb enough to believe them. When it comes to the sensors, you need to look into the milliseconds because there is opportunity for capture and a harvest. So all of these people claim there's no opportunity for harvest or capture or vulnerabilities. Google their patents, they're lying. All of them, including your Face IDs. So you need to really look into where the sensor data is being shared, how it's being computed, how it's being stored, not from their sales teams or their marketing teams, but the actual patents. And every last one of them say it is stored on a local sensor and it is an opportunity for vulnerability for 1/100th to 5/100th of a second. And that's all a large computer needs, a quick second. So I'm not going to get into the specifics, but all of the data sensors we've searched out do. All of them do. So in general, the cross-pollination of data in the next generation of data, massive computation is going to be utilizing quite a few different swarms of, I would say, video surveillance, so to speak. And it's just having access to the information, you know what I mean? Knowing that you've given it, knowing that you're logged in, and knowing that you're being tracked across a billion cameras across the planet. We'll do with that information whatever you wish. But if you're going to give it to a private company who's going to sell it, resell it, eventually resell it again to somebody else, you no longer own your biometric data. So I wouldn't knowingly, voluntarily sign that off to somebody who may or may not give me a couple shillings for a WLD token in general, for an example, not to point that one out specifically. It's just not worth it. You know, the data monetization you've seen, I mean, it's $8 a month for other product suites of social media companies. It's monetization in all different aspects. So allowing yourself to consent into those things is much larger than you think it is, especially when they can go and sell it later under different regulations or guidelines once those things change. So, and that specific topic, it's early, but your biometric data, you only are your face, you only are your biometric data. So I'd be very careful as to which companies you trust and what their past history has been, how they've treated their employees. I'm using specific terminology here. How they've treated their staff, how they've treated people who left the company, how they've treated your public data, your private data, what they've done to harvest it in the past, what they've done to sell it in the past, how they've interfaced with what your cookies are, all the information you already have on them. You need to know how they're going to treat you as a digital footprint, not just you as a person, and not what they're telling you. So just be mindful, be consentful, like know what you're doing, know who you're doing it with, and know that none of these companies are loyal to anyone ever again. Full stop.
Anybody ever heard of the Experian hack?
Yeah.
I think it was like, what was it, 200 million people's personal information?
It's a backdoor. We haven't had a hack in 20 years. They leave the back doors open.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it was. Your personal information is out there. It doesn't matter. If they want your information,
correct.
They got
You're proving that. The vulnerability specifically is open in the back door, correct? So why would you give it to them?
They have it. They already
not
have
your biometric data of high resolution. You just stuck your eyeball in it. Have fun with that.
Yes, they do. They definitely do. You ever been through TSA? They've got your information. If they
you can decline at TSA, by the way. I have when I travel.
Have you ever taken your picture for your driver's license?
Absolutely.
Okay, they got you. I mean, who are you even trying to keep it
21
from?
data points of your face, not your iris. Thank you.
Who are you even trying to keep it from at this point?
There you go.
Who? I mean, serious. That's
you have fun with that. Good luck with that, bud.
That's a question. Who are you trying to protect your data from?
And that's the difference between the generation who understands our Constitution and the rights to privacy and the people who don't them out.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. Because
there's going to be some nefarious players in the space in the future, and you know, take your cryptocurrency earnings and buy 40 acres of land up in Montana and hide.
There you go. That's really the only option you got. If you want to
I follow Jesus, so I'm okay.
People who do.
That's the only option you have. I mean,
you have any idea how many billionaires live in Colorado?
I can't hear you.
You say that again?
I know.
He said how many billionaires live in Colorado?
No clue.
Well, I'm sure there's a few.
Up in the mountains somewhere?
Yeah, so, I mean, if they've got their information, what does it matter?
Well,
the only thing that matters is that you can, once a breach has happened, is that you can recover your information. That's the only thing that matters because they have it already. If they want you, they got you, period. You can't even hide in a cave anymore without somebody finding you. So what's the point in hiding?
Do you work for data brokers? I'm kidding.
No, I'm just telling you, just don't do bad things and you don't have to worry. And if it comes to a point,
I'm sorry, I can't engage in management's next generation for antics for expansion of privacy data amount. Enjoy.
Okay, I don't know what you said, but I mean, and if it comes to a point where they're using your information to find you, then we've got much larger problems than a cryptocurrency. So there you go.
I just follow Jesus and I'm good.
The government shutdown coming? People are saying that's going to affect the price of crypto. Is that actually happening, Zach?
They typically do a nosedive, correct?
It's usually pretty quick though, right? And we recover pretty fast.
Unless it's a double shutdown that year, that was the bear market. We dove 70% from the 69,000. Which is why we shared the information, not in fear mongering, but just information.
How likely do you guys think it is to happen here? Deadline's tomorrow, right?
Tonight at midnight.
How likely is it to happen? What do you guys think?
Poly market has 79%.
That it's likely.
I'll take the under.
So you know how they say, I'm not political, I don't care about either party. But you know how they say certain parties asking for too much? Or certain persons asking for too much? He's actually asking for infinity. He wants to remove the debt ceiling. So he's asking for way too much. I'm out.
Hey, Zach, I want to go back to Dojo's question, if we can, because I spoke with somebody yesterday in DM that had a question very similar to that. And maybe somebody else up here can answer the question also, if that's cool, man.
Yeah, we can get back into that. Is Dojo still up here? I think he might have fell down. I don't know if he's still in the listener panel. He might be gone, but other people can glean from it for sure. But yeah, go ahead, man. I mean, if you want to speak to that in terms of tracking or what you're going to do, what your plans are, that's fine. I mean, if you want to go there.
Okay, cool. I appreciate it. Yeah, as far as my tracking, I do like you. I've got a tracker. I've got my buy and sell points. Low bull, middle bull, and like just a crazy bull run case. But that's kind of where I'm at with that. And then as far as like what my plan is to take profit or what I'm going to do afterwards, I hope to be able to, what Rune said, get some land kind of out in the middle of nowhere, kind of where I live right now already, and chill out. Hopefully buy more Bitcoin. Hopefully at the bottom is the plan on that one, just so I can accumulate as much as I can. And then the last portion of that is I would like to get into some dividend stocks, so that way that would alleviate me from actually having to work again, and I'll just live off of the dividends that I draw off of those stocks and holdings, and in turn throw whatever I want to allocate back into crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, what have you, and then hopefully that'll be it. And I'll just cruise on out, if you will. But what I spoke to somebody about yesterday was, and I've not had this issue, but has anyone ever had issues when you get ready to sell, and offload back into? I know we talk a lot about not offloading back into your bank account, but in some cases, sometimes you have to. So has anybody ever had issues with, taking a large sum of money out of exchange and going back into your bank account with it? Have you experienced any problems with that, or maybe a red flag from your financial institution where they hold it for a prolonged period of time? Anything like that anybody can speak to by chance?
I haven't had issues offloading or off-ramping. I have had issues on-ramping, but those issues were like back in 2020, 2021, when like big banks were still like weird. I think it was Wells Fargo, because I have a bank account with Wells Fargo and another one with Chase, and it was Wells Fargo who I had issues with at first, but now I haven't had issues with them, this go around. But I haven't had any issues off-ramping personally. By the way, we got some other speakers who want to come up. Rune, do you mind coming up as co-host with me? If you request to be a co-host, I'll make you co-host, if that's cool.
That's fine.
That way I can get the other speaker up here too. Go ahead, DJen.
Hey, I just wanted to thank Clifford for bringing back the topic. Yeah, I mean, we all kind of do that, play that game of what we're gonna do with the money that we make from crypto, right? And how to offload and all that. I kind of have a question for you guys. I own my own electrical business. I just started the business in March. Kind of the reason why I get wrecked in meme coins because I don't have the time to look at charts and things like that. And from 1 hour to the next, you get rugged. So I've been doing more, high market cap, blue chips, conviction plays. I find my true communities here and there in the meme coin space because it wouldn't hurt to throw $100 and make 20 grand out of it. Anyways, I'm seriously considering asking customers if they want to pay me in crypto. I'm in the part of the U.S. where it's not really been adopted yet, so it's a little hard. But has anyone done that yet? Also, I don't know if you guys know about self-employment taxes. I mean, some days I feel like the proverbial cash cow for the government in the amount of freaking taxes that I pay being self-employed. So maybe someone has some light to shed on possible tax savings there if people pay me in crypto, or is it just better to just get paid normal in fiat and then transfer over to my crypto portfolio? Would love to be able to avoid some of these taxes I'm paying because it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I struggle with this all the time. I try to do everything by the book, though. But I mean, there are some things that if you own your own business, I mean, there's some definite advantages of that. Like, I own my own S corporation, and then I have like 3 separate LLCs underneath it. So that gives me some advantage, like in terms of just reducing the overall burden. Like, my whole basement is my office, so like I write that off. Just in terms of like overall taxes or whatever. So I mean, when you work for yourself, there are some advantages. The other one for business owners is buy a 6,000 pound car. Sounds hilarious. Some of you may know about this or whatever, but I feel like a lot of people don't. If you buy a 6,000 pound car, you can write it off. So like I never really was into I'm still never really into I gotta buy this new cool shit or whatever. Like I was driving my Honda Civic, and I was fine with that. And my financial person was like, hey, dude, go buy a 6,000 pound car and write it off in your business. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, if I'm going to have to buy a 6,000 pound car, I'm going to buy something cool. So I found one I liked or whatever, and that was a full write off. But yeah, I mean, there's, talk to your financial person. There's little things like that. But at the end of the day, man, I just pay my fair share. There's ways to go about it. I mean, obviously you want to reinvest that money, but even then gets a little murky because if it's short-term capital gains, you still owe that, right? You still gotta, I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I don't mean to ask tax questions here. I know that's not the norm. I do have a CPA, but people are so old school. Are you
the only person within your business?
Yes, I do have a 1099 employee. At the moment, I'm the only guy.
You should look into with a financial planner, a Roth IRA or an IRA. It allows you to trade pre-tax money. I'm not sure which one's which. One allows you to trade pre-tax money until 65, and the other one allows you to trade pre-tax money. And as long as you don't draw down, you don't get taxed. One of them is one thing. You should look into it. Because as a proprietary business owner, it allows you to trade up to, I think, $70K per year tax-free. But I'll defer to someone who knows. It's really good, by the way, for O&Os, business owner-operators. But also if you're your only employee. Do with that information whatever you wish. Financial research, it's a real thing. And I think Peter Thiel even took it to his Roth IRA when he took his Facebook profit, so that way he never have to pay taxes on it, I believe. Not financial advice once again, but that's billions of dollars he won't pay taxes on, and he just takes out when he's 65, whatever it is. It's pretty cool. Please research. Enjoy.
I think what you're referencing, Zach, I'm almost positive because it's what I have. It's called a SEP IRA. I think it stands for Simplified Employee Pension IRA. I mean, I have that, and I know that's kind of it's kind of like your 401k, and it's every year you can max it out to a certain level. And then I have an individual brokerage account too. But investments inside the SEP are tax deferred until withdrawal. So I do have one of those, DGen.
Yeah, that's actually what my CPA recommended me to do. I'm still kind of researching and see what's best. But yeah, he recommended a SEP. He said I would pay less taxes, but the drawback to it is, as a business, I also, for in case I need a loan or prove how much I'm making, if I ever want to sell the business later on, then it kind of hurts me that it's going to show that I'm not making as much as I am, so it's kind of like you got to kind of choose your poison there. But yeah, I have heard about the the SAP savings as well. It's just these guys. I really like my CPA, but they're old school. You even like, I thought it was a safe space, and if you even mention the word crypto, I can tell their facial expressions change.
So,
it's
DGen, I would
some-
also say this, man. Find a CPA who's also into crypto, or at least who knows crypto, because when I went full-time in business in 2021, I went and talked with like 4 or 5 different CPAs before I went with the one I went with. And the only reason I went with the person I have now, and I still have that person, don't plan on changing it, is because I said the word MetaMask, and he knew exactly what I was talking about. And he started rattling off crypto projects, like literally, like that was literally my like stipulation, because I did not want some old head who didn't know what, and didn't want to deal with it. I mentioned the word crypto to like 3 or 4 others, and immediately I just looked at their facial expression and I was like, nope, you're not going to be hired. So yeah, man. And then the whole thing with the SEP too, the cool thing is you don't have to pay into it every year. It's good for entrepreneurs, right? Because you have good years, bad years, etc. You don't have to put a certain amount in. You could put a fluctuating amount. They do cap you year to year, and that is floating every year. It changes. Like this past year, 2024, because I just actually filed my taxes. I know, right? You have the deadline until like October 15th, actually. And I always kick the can and pay the penalty or whatever. But I do file. But I think the cap this year was like 24,000 or something like that. Yeah, I mean, the other thing is too, and I'm not like great at explaining this, and I let the professionals kind of tell me what to do, but I pay myself too in the business. So like, I pay myself a salary. I know there's also like some good tax advantages that way too. I pay myself like a decent salary, and that definitely helps. I remember when we decided to do that, they laid it out in terms of what I'd be saving or whatever on an average year, based on the income or whatever, and it was a good idea. So look into that. I mean, again, I'm not the expert here, but just giving you some things to think about.
Yeah, thank you very much. Very good information. Appreciate you guys.
For sure, man. Let's see. Postman, what's up, man? Long time no see up here.
Holy shit, I must have hit the button by accident. I'm working. But I always do, Zach. What's going on with you guys? How's everything going?
Going good, man. Going good. Can't complain. Hopefully everything's good your way.
I'm just listening to you guys all the time, learning as much as I can, trying to get back into it. I was gone for a while with the IRL crap that I had with my grandson and other stuff, and slowly phasing myself back into this, and just watching the market go, okay, we don't know what the fuck to do again, pardon my French. But it's always an interesting trip, I don't know, I agree with you completely, October, November. I think we might take a little longer. I think it might start in November. I got a bad feeling about what's going to happen with this, government shutdown. Oh, and by the way, if anybody heard that the post office is included in it, we're not. Because I saw that on TV the other day and laughed my ass off. We have never been included. We're a separate identity. But yeah, other than that, just trying to hold my own in the cryptoverse and hang out, learn more and more and more. And I'm really looking forward to November down in Miami. That's going to be a blast. And that's about it. Not much to report.
Awesome, brother. Good to hear from you. And yeah, looking forward to catching up down there in Miami at Blockchain Futurist Conference. Yeah, it'll be fun. Let's see. Who the hell who's got the green Pepe? Groiper. What's
going on, Zach?
What's happening, man? What's going on?
Just listening to the convo. Agree with a lot of stuff. Caught a couple good trades the last few weeks with CZ coming back on the scene. I'm excited to see what happens across America politically. But yeah, this is a Groiper account.
I know that voice. What's up, Shogun? How you doing, man?
What's up? What's up? Wanted to come say hi, show some support. Always a big fan of the Crypto Breakfast Club. Zach's always giving good alpha, and whenever I can, stop in, try to contribute myself.
Appreciate you, bro.
What's going on? America's locking down?
We're gonna find out, I guess, tonight at midnight. We'll see. Market's not reacting real great right now. I mean, it's kind of just in no man's land. We'll see what happens, but if there's a quick flush, could be a good opportunity.
Do you think we'll ever head back into, do you remember this time last year there was a Politify meta? Do you think that'll ever engage again with everything that's going on in the news?
It's an interesting question. Maybe around elections again. It feels like that was like an election, presidential election thing, maybe. I don't know if it'll happen in between that kind of stuff, but maybe every 4 years I can see it kind of coming around. I remember, oh my God, remember that meta, like the Donald Trump and Geo Biden and all that shit? Dude, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah. Well, the reason I bring it up is obviously this is like a somewhat Politify account, but I was looking back at the charts and I'm mind blown about how high those went. Trump went to 160 million, I think, and Biden went to 750 million. Just random meme coins, obviously not random, but I mean the style of art and the type of meme in that market, those pumped. Do you remember that? And then because of that, I remember there were hundreds of other Politify memes that all kind of did the same art, and we had hundreds of spaces and so many people in there just arguing about politics. We still have a lot of political spaces, but that was a crazy time to be a part of crypto. If anyone remembers that, Politify, it engulfed crypto spaces for quite some time.
If I remember, I think Geo Biden went to 1 billion.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. Just pure speculation. And the Biden one passed the Trump one.
Yeah. I actually made some good gains on the Trump one and missed the Biden one. I didn't want to chase it, and of course it just kept going freaking higher and higher. But I did well on the Trump one. There for a minute there was even there was a Joe Rogan one that I did decent on. I got in and out of real quick, like when I first launched.
Yeah, there was a Joe Rogan one that had like a podcast set up. They had Tucker Carlson. I think that went to hundreds of millions as well.
Oh, like, Tucker, yeah. Money. I remember that one.
Shocking money. But yeah, the reason I brought it up is because if anybody knows anything about Groipers themselves, in my opinion, I think this is a crazy front run. It's the largest underground political movement, and it just so happens to be represented by an OG 4chan meme. So it's not forced. This is an OG 4chan meme. And if anyone's watching what's happening politically, I'm hearing Steve Bannon's going to make a run. And if anybody knows Nick Fuentes, he's one of the most canceled, hated rally men, but he's now becoming super mainstream. He just went on Russell Brand. He just went on Glenn. There's rumors he's about to go on Joe Rogan's podcast. And he's making his name in the political sphere surrounding America First. So he was before known as a white nationalist, and he's cleaned up his brand, and super controversial. A lot of people hate him. A lot of people love him, but he's making waves. So this is kind of like a front run. And in my opinion, it's the first time I've seen an OG 4chan meme make mainstream because of the front face. Wanting to try to get into politics. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. On the night that he was assassinated, Nick had a stream, and he had the #1 English stream on all platforms combined. When I saw that statistic, I was pretty mind blown. So it's one of those things where people can't take their eyes off of it. I'd highly recommend taking a look into it if you guys haven't explored it. It's the first time memes have actually organically found their way into American politics. And, Pepe was always known as like the alt-right representative. And now in 2025, Groyper is kind of taking that lead. It depends if it's like, barking up the wrong tree for you at all, but Pepe's all-time high was, I believe, 12 billion. Apu went to 500 million. This Groyper is the only one that hasn't sent yet. So if you don't know anything about it, I'd highly recommend you guys research it.
Interesting, man. I like it. The meme coin meta, man. I hope we have another meme coin cycle. Meme coins are fun as hell. As long as you know how to play the meme coin markets, man, and you're not like too greedy, and you can, it's always fun, man. I just think the pump fun stuff is just watered down, the whole meme coin side, and I don't know, where is retail, man? Like, is retail coming back? Like, Mutasko, what's up, man? What do you think? Is retail coming back? And if so, like, where are they going? Like, I also kind of go back and forth, like, is the retail that's coming back into the market like a different type of retail now? Are they like the traditional bankers that are like all suited up and they're going into XRP and HBAR and Chainlink? Or are we getting like the degens in their mom's basement still? Like, are they coming back? Like, where are they at? Where are they at? You guys could jump in. I see a couple hands.
No, retail's not coming back. People don't have enough money for payroll, but they have enough for your pension. So they're coming for 401ks, they're coming in for pensions, they're coming for whatever they can get out of those fund managers. I have quite a few boomers in my roster, and they get hit up every single day for Fidelity to even touch it. Like, please move it, please do something with it, please do it. It's all nonstop. And that's the only where the money's at, so they're going to have the money as retail's not coming. So unless he does a massive print in Q1 of next year after a recession or depression or a market crash, there's no reason for it. Well, there is a silver lining for those MAGAs who plead on the thesis of we need unlimited debt printing, even though they're fiscal conservatives and hate government debt printing, which is ironic. The thesis is that no one had looked into why the government is shutting down, aside from the layoffs they projected and wanted in 2025, prior to 2025. But the other piece of that is the dimension that he has to remove the debt ceiling, which means unlimited printing forever. So that changes the dimension for the rise of runaway inflation. And multiple conservatives have already said, like, it's going to be runaway inflation. It's incredibly dangerous. And they won't vote with him on that. Neither will Democrats. So that's why they're in a stalemate, because he wants unlimited debt printing. So that's why I don't think retail's coming unless they print.
Oh my God, dude.
Please tell me your
Where
numbers
do
in
you come
reality.
up with this stuff? Where do you come up with this stuff, man? So, Zach, retail will be back, just like they always are. They'll be back to buy the tops. They'll be back when institutions pump the holy hell out of this market. And they'll be in your DMs from everybody you know, IRL, saying, hey, do you think this coin's going up or what? Just like they always do. Watch what I tell you guys. They will certainly be back. It's going to be the top. They're going to buy it, and they're going to get dumped on by the institutions every single time it happens. Just watch your DMs. Zach, whatever your name is, watch your DMs. It's going to happen. You may not think it will, but I guarantee you, when we're at the top of this market, you're going to get blown up with all types of messages, just like I do every single time we have a pub. So that's that one. Secondly, I'm not sure what you're talking about with the debt ceiling. I've not seen that proposed by anyone. So that's ridiculous. And if you're into crypto, what does it matter anyways? You want there to be a ridiculous amount of printing, don't you? I mean, are you into precious metals? If so, look what's happening with gold and silver.